everybody, and welcome to another episode of You're Not My Type, Bro, a show where we talk about politics, social issues, relationships, platonic and otherwise. We talk about celebrities, we talk about celebrity gossip, we talk about all the things that we hate, we talk about all the things that we love.
And my beautiful, freshly shaved chest.
We talk about things
One
that
of
we
the
hate.
things that I hate.
It took an hour to shave.
We are just here to entertain you guys, and hopefully you enjoy us so much that you come back, and that you are sure to share, to like, to comment, to subscribe, tell all your friends about it, and just spread the love. That's all we want to do.
I love it.
Please
All right.
What's love?
All right, so I'm a little thrown off because of Marko's hour-long chest hair cutting situation.
Yeah, it was amazing. It took an hour in the gym to get rid of all this and expose my top body.
You are one of those people that goes and does it at the gym instead of your house, so people have to clean up your nasty
Yes,
ass hair
absolutely.
after you. That is disgusting.
That's exactly why I do it.
That is disgusting.
No,
do
you know what's
that?
disgusting? My gym, they cut off all the water pressure. They took away all the paper towels. The hand dryers don't do nothing. They're so.
What gym do you go to?
So this is your
Oh,
revenge,
fitness,
baby.
the poor man's gym. Wow.
This is your revenge.
I'm sorry, I'm not at Equinox.
Equinox.
Is it Equinox?
So this is just your. That's just
That's
your
what you get for
revenge.
being an asshole.
That's your revenge, basically, is what you're trying to say.
Yes, that's why I pay the membership for. By the way, in all fairness to me, I'm very considerate. I do clean up after myself.
Okay.
And
With what? Because there's no paper towels. Didn't you
No.
just say that?
I it goes all in the sink, and then I take it and put it in the trash.
Oh, okay.
I will never leave the hair like I'm not brought up like that.
Respect,
but,
because there's a lot of people that leave that shit in there.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And that would be
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that those
yeah.
people would complain about. And since
Yeah.
we are talking about complaints,
Cocktails and
let's
complaints.
do some cocktails
Salud.
and complaints.
Salud.
Cheers.
Why is your glass half empty?
Why do you think?
Thirsty.
He's wasting no time today. I like it.
All right, guys. So we are going to get into our complaints. And Mr. Duane, why don't we kick it off with you, sir?
Dwayne goes first.
All right.
Dwayne
What's your
made.
complaint
My
this week?
complaint, I don't know that this came out this week, but I saw it this week. So, Jessica Simpson has stated, I think I pulled this from either Rolling Stone or TMZ. She stated that she's started taking supplements that contain snake semen.
Singer Jessica Simpson. Blonde ones.
Mhm.
Okay.
She's been drinking a supplement that contains snake sperm to preserve and restore her vocal cords. I just want to be like,
Ain't enough snake cum in the world, honey.
bitch, you're doing too much for too little. Like, like what are you preserving?
Oh my God. That
Like,
is.
take that little bit of money you made off of QVC and go sit down somewhere.
Are you serious?
And go
Yeah.
sit down somewhere. What a nice subtle
that-
fuck you. Go sit down somewhere, bitch.
Did it mention anything about how it works or like where you get it?
No,
from?
because I was
'Cause it doesn't work.
I was so perplexed by it,
it's-
and went straight to the comment section.
Of course.
Here for the comments.
And I can't take credit for this, but this dude was like, so she's just blowing a snake for no reason.
Ah.
But,
I
like,
don't think that's how that works.
But like seriously though, like,
Can you Google the benefits of snake sperm? I gotta know now. Now you got me triggered now.
Could it really be enhancing her vocal cords or
No way. No, when
or
you
her
can't
talent?
sing, bitch. You can't sing. The problem is
To
not
that-
your chords.
to
You
that
can't
point,
sing.
And I remember watching a clip. I think it was on YouTube, and it was they had I forget what the process is called. It's when they like diminish the music and you just hear her vocals.
Oh, she goes a cappella.
Well, it's not a cappella.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
They
Yeah.
just diminish the
It's all intimate and shit.
instrumentals.
Yeah.
And it was, and I've seen the same thing with Jennifer Lopez, and they're kind
She
of in the
can't sing
same
either,
boat.
yeah.
And I'm like, there is no amount of snake sperm that's going to allow any of y'all.
There's no amount
So
of
you heard
regular
the real
sperm
voice.
that's gonna
You
make
heard
you
her
sing
voice.
better.
It
Yeah.
was
Jessica Simpson,
terrible.
it's not good.
Yeah.
What does it say?
She doesn't even.
It's like a Kim Zolciak.
Kim might be able to hold a tune better.
No.
Kim who?
Kim Zolciak.
Yeah, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
No.
But wait a minute, though. There is no scientific evidence to support any benefits of snake sperm for human health. Well, that's human health, but
still.
What?
Yeah, I will tell you if it did anything.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it would say that, but wow.
The problem is not the sperm, girlfriend. The problem is you can't sing.
I would complain about it too. I'd
Yeah.
be pissed off too.
Yeah.
I need to make that my complaint. Coming up in here acting like she could ever sing.
Like, girl,
What
what
song
are
does
you
she have?
restoring to what?
She has a little bit goes and that was a good one. But it was
she's
an
saying
engineer. It was super.
It's all produced, man. The
Yeah, yeah,
producers
yeah.
are the real. The producers are the real stars.
They're the real
Yeah,
stars. They're
yeah,
the real artists.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Marco, your complaint for the week.
Yeah, it's real childish, but it really bugs me. The Nintendo Switch 2 got delayed.
The Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, because I wanted to pre-order it. It was supposed to be, the pre-orders were supposed to be, I think, April 8, 9, 10, well, I can't remember what it is now. And because of the uncertainty of the tariffs, Nintendo decided, well, we don't know what's going on
No,
in the
he
US.
stopped the electronic. He stopped. Supposedly, there's not going to be a tariff on electronics.
Correct. And today they announced now that in a couple of weeks now the pre-orders will resume. But it bugs me because now I'm stressing out because I wanted to make sure I secure. And listen, it's very rare that I get excited about video gaming. Mm-hmm. But for the longest time, I've been looking for like a handheld because I spend a lot of time flying this and that, hotels. And it is kind of cool to have a Switch handheld. I wouldn't be the guy that docks it, but for handheld, it's pretty cool. And I remember the original Game Boy when it came out.
Yeah.
And I never had the Switch 1, but it just, now that they came out with the Switch 2 and this bigger screen and a badass screen and 4K and all that shit, I was like, okay, it will be cool to have Super Mario when you're bored. It will be cool.
You're not playing when you're flying.
No, of course
in the
not.
hotels.
No,
hotels.
Yeah,
and I was
or even
like,
on the
what?
couch. I mean,
You'd be monitoring other controls.
and to be able
This
to
is real life.
Yeah, and Tetris and Super Mario are kind of like my thing, right? The shower thing. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll buy it. I'll buy it to support. And I was all excited. And of course, I'm going to be one of those that isn't awake at 12:01 a.m. to freaking get one. So I'm going to probably wait another, 6 weeks, and then it's going to be eBay. Everybody's scalping. I'm not going to do that. But I was like really hoping I'm going to get one, and now I got to wait an extra few weeks. And another thing that comes with that pisses me off, I hate when companies announce shit that doesn't come out for another 4 months. I fucking hate that. It's like it's coming out.
Well, they're building the.
I know.
Mind, like the pre-sale and you get on the wait list.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So the thing comes out June 5. It's actually available for sale, right? Uh-huh. And it's April, so it's April, May. It's like 2.5 months. Dude, Apple does the same shit. They announce something in March, it comes out in September.
Yeah.
I get it. Why? I'm not confused. I will do the same, but I'm on the other end. I'm like, I want it now. Announce something that's coming out tomorrow because I'm very impatient and you need to accommodate me. Not the other way
Nintendo
around.
Switch.
Yes, I'm important. That's my complaint.
So the complaint is about the
Kind, you is smart, you is important.
I'm amazing. Look at this chest. I even have a fake birthmark to make it.
You're an idiot.
No, the birthmarks are real.
I had a couple of things that happened to me, and
Well, you have several complaints? We can do
I
that?
had at least a couple. I had at least a couple, but
I like your style.
I'm gonna go with the one that was hitting home today more than anything. So the other day, and I said this before, I'm a vegan, but if there's something that I want and it has like they use like egg powder or like it has a small piece, I'll try it. Like whatever, I don't care. It's not gonna kill me, hopefully. And so I was craving a candy bar. Like when you're a kid and you have the Snickers bars and the Twix, and I haven't had
Once in a while, you gotta just have a
Once in a
candy
while,
bar.
yeah,
You just
right.
gotta have a fucking
And
candy
I was
bar.
like, I know there's milk in it, whatever.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It was literally like a bar that big.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's a little bit bigger than the fun size. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have one, whatever. So I go over. I'm at Ralph's and I'm checking out, and I go to the little area where they have all the impulse buys, whatever. Do you
Impulse buys. That's so true. That's what it's called. Yeah.
do you know that a Milky Way was $1.75?
Wow.
$1.75 for a Milky Way like that, or insert any candy bar, Three Musketeers, $1.75, and I remember when I was a kid, those things used to be like $3-4.
Yeah.
And maybe even cheaper than that. And then I was like, okay, wow, this is really the economy, the grocery prices. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so then today, my parents' anniversary is coming up next week, so I want to get them an anniversary card. So I swung by Ralph's to get them a card, and I'm looking at all the cards. And I was like, okay, let me grab one. So I grabbed one, and I went up to the thing to check it out. The card was $9.
Yeah.
For an anniversary, for a card. For a card, it was $9. And then today is what, the 15th. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that I got it to them in time.
Print one at home.
For their anniversary.
Yeah.
So I leave and I go to the post office, and I never know how much a stamp is or how many stamps I should put on something these days, because who mails letters? Nobody. And so I get there, and I was like, how much is it to mail a letter? And they're like,
$70.
75 cents.
Yeah.
Which to me, because it was a good sized card, I was surprised that it was only 75 cents. I thought it was going to be like at least $1 or something. But my complaint is, I guess I'm a little bit out of touch in some ways about how expensive some things are starting to become, because I usually just stick with like I said, I do my Instacart shopping and I do it through Walmart, and I don't really pay too much attention. I don't really pay too much attention to the price. Like I'm not saying I have all this money to burn.
Sure, we talked about gas the other few weeks ago. Remember, $6
Oh, that's not my
per
complaint.
gallon. Yeah, you have an electric
That's
car.
not my
Yeah,
complaint.
yeah.
I'm good on gas. But then I started looking at the price of everything in the surrounding area, and I was like, seems like everything just went up by $1 or $2.
And it's only getting worse.
Recently.
It's only getting worse.
Yeah.
It's only getting worse, man.
And I'm just like, what the hell, dude? It's unimaginable to me that Donald Trump coming into office saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and people bought that shit, and now look what's happening in the world with these tariffs back and forth. People are getting so terrified about things, and they're raising prices because they don't know how their expenses are going to change as far as manufacturing and things like that. But it just blew my mind.
I was in Pavilions 2 days ago, the one in West Hollywood, and basically the eggs they had like the stickers that they put on where they discount it 25 or 50%. But most of the eggs had broken. But but that was the only thing that they had. So but at the same time the standard price was $10.99
For a dozen.
For a dozen.
Okay.
But the only eggs that were available, they all the cartons had that orange sticker on it that was discounting it by 25%, and every carton was broken. So you had to take this carton, which was already flimsy because it had yolk all over it. And I'm like, I'm just not getting eggs. I'm just not getting eggs.
There was this video that I saw on Instagram, and it's had to be over in Europe somewhere. There's this woman, she basically is buying bananas, and she peels the skin off all of the bananas and then puts it in the bag and has the cashier.
Oh, wow.
Cashier away because she's like, I'm not gonna eat the banana peels. I'm just eating the banana. So here, charge it for the banana.
Wow.
And then the woman also had eggs in her order, so the cashier took the eggs and cracked the eggs open and threw the shells away and dumped the egg whites in the egg yolk in a bag and gave it to her. It's just it's cold out there. People are crazy. But yeah, I was just surprised.
Complaint?
Yeah, I was just surprised at how expensive everything is getting, and maybe I'm not paying as much attention as I should be paying attention. But I don't buy candy bars every day, so it's not that little $1.75. And I got 2. that was the worst part about it. But,
$3 for 2 candy bars.
But also,
Sign of the times.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Once in a while, I just want a Twix. I get that impulse buy on my line. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
But the quality is not as good as you.
No, it tastes like shit. You can tell you're eating chemicals. It feels like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about something super quick. This is just an aside. I got in my car, went downstairs to go to the gym, and earlier today, and there was a software update in the car. And so I was like, whatever, I'm not doing anything. The gym's right there. So I do the software update, and I drive to go to the gym. And I pull into the parking lot, and I usually back into the spot. And I'm backing up into the spot, and I'm not looking behind me, but I'm looking at my dash so I can see the camera and watch that I'm lined up to park into the spot. And it wasn't there because it was updating. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, damn, am I relying so much on technology that I'm not even paying it? I literally, for the first time in a long time, had to look in my mirror to park into a spot because I'm usually looking down at the camera. And I was like, what a fucking sign of the time.
I was freaking out one time when I forgot to take...
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
I trust it. I do, really do. A lot.
I had once I forgot to take the phone with me to the gym, and I was freaking out. Because I would have to be an hour in the gym without the phone. And even though I have the watch and I can still get the call and the email and the text, that still wasn't enough.
I've gone back to get my earbuds.
I have too.
I've gone back to get my earbuds.
I have backup pairs. I have backup pairs everywhere.
Yeah, I'm an addict. My name is Marko, and I have a problem.
Technology continues to just... we're
But
getting too comfortable. We're getting too comfortable.
In all fairness, I'm not
reliant.
In all fairness, we're still not as bad as the modern day teenager who literally, if you take their phone, they will die.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because that's sick. That's a sickness.
We had outside. Yeah. We had outside growing up.
You better not come inside till the streetlights are
Exactly. So it was either, what was it, last weekend was the season finale of White Lotus. Do we have any White Lotus fans? I'm sure.
No, don't tell me nothing. Don't spoil it for me.
Oh,
I haven't watched it either.
Okay, so
I want to binge it.
Okay, so this is not going to spill what happened, but there's an actress. Her name is Amy Lou Wood, and her role. This is not particular to her role. This is just the way she looks. Her teeth are she has.
I know the picture. Yeah.
Okay, so she.
By the way, I find her very pretty.
I think she's attractive.
I find her very pretty. Yeah. I find her very pretty.
She's on this show called Sex Education, and over the course of the weekend, Saturday Night Live has done a couple of these skits.
I read
They
about
did
that.
One, did you read about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they
Incredibly
did
distasteful.
one a couple of a year or so ago that was called the Black Lotus, and this is like a no nonsense hotel, right? The Black Lotus, and they did one this just past weekend called the White POTUS. So it's kind of like this parody of Trump and his advisors and maybe family members staying at a White Lotus spa or hotel, and there was an actress who played the character that Amy Lou Wood plays, and they gave her these prosthetic teeth, these buck teeth.
Fucking unacceptable.
And I'm just gonna be real. The teeth kind of did look like her teeth. They did. I mean, it matched up, and the actress that was playing her, she got the mannerisms really good of the actress.
It wasn't even the actress actually offended by it, right? She said something that she was
The
kind of...
actress performing the role.
No, the actress in real life.
Oh yeah, that's what
She
I'm
made-
that's what I'm
Oh,
getting
you got it.
to.
Okay,
That's
okay.
what I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
to.
I'm just trying to see because remember
Yeah,
what I read.
that's what I'm getting
Because
to.
I don't know the show, but I remember reading about this. Yeah.
Well, what she actually said was, she said about the parody that it was mean and unfunny, and she said she wrote a series of Instagram posts, and she said that when it's clever and it's in good spirits, she likes comedy like that, but this needed to be more clever, more nuanced, and in a less cheap way. She suggested that
it's
the
not.
sketch was misogynistic. And at one point, one of the actors in the sketch, one of the actress that's playing the role says, "Fluoride, what's that?"
Yeah.
And
I'm so glad I don't watch that show, man.
she says the whole joke was about fluoride, and she's like, I have a big gap teeth. I have big gap teeth, not bad teeth. I used to be a
That's her being nice. Can you
Well,
imagine
yeah.
how she must feel, dude, when you make fun of somebody like that? She's already aware and insecure, dude. And then the
I
fucking
don't think
irony.
she's insecure about it.
Well, not insecure, but aware.
of course she better be.
There's probably some insecurities
Yeah,
under there. Like
yeah.
if you're,
I mean,
if it's,
yeah.
what were we gonna say?
Okay, so I want to say that I watched the sketch, and I thought that moment in the scene, I thought it was funny because I've seen the entire season, and like I said, the way that the actress was portraying her, to me, was kind of like spot on the way that she was portraying her character on White Lotus. But the reason why I brought it up is the question is, when does comedy go too far, or does it go too far? Because again, this is a parody, and they're parodying this actress, playing this character, and is it too much? Is it nasty? Is it mean? Is it rude? Like, for me personally, I'm just like, it's comedy. You're a public figure. Like, people are gonna go for the things that and exaggerate those things about you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go, you want?
Yeah, I'll go. Listen, I don't know. I have two answers. First is the irony, which isn't lost on me, that if the other side had done this, of course they'd be fucking everybody spitting blood. You know what I mean? But of course, when the liberals do it, it's all good. And by the way, I'm opposed to either extreme anyway. You know me, I don't have a horse in the race. I'll call everybody out on their shit. And this is a show I stopped watching years ago because it's become like.
I don't think it's funny.
It's not funny to me. Saturday Night Live is absolute fucking bubblegum for bubblegum people. It's not funny. It's the same old fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Every show is fucking bashing a guy. You know what I mean? And to me, if I want comedy, man, trust me, there's real people that will make you laugh. And Saturday Night Live, I haven't watched that and laughed in fucking 20 years. But the thing that gets me is there's this thing that I noticed in the last 3 years that if you're a comedian, you have a carte blanche.
To kind of say do whatever you want.
I don't know where that came from. And the comedians, comedians started protecting each other. Dude, I love humor. I love dirty humor. I come from a culture where I'm like what you guys would call like the Richard Pryor, like the dirty.
I love Richard Pryor.
Yeah, no, listen, and of course today that wouldn't work.
You can't.
There was a roast that he did on the. Which is, obviously way back, and you watched that today, of course. But I'm dying, I'm crying because that was. I'm from that culture, you know what I mean, and where it's funny, or Eddie Murphy raw, you know what I mean, and that of course today doesn't fly anymore. But
so then you feel like that was maybe going too far.
No, you know what? I don't know if that particular sketch went too far. I think that there's a little bit of hypocrisy in there for me because that had been the other way around, and I look. It's very delicate when you're making fun of somebody. I get it can be super funny, by the way. It can be super funny. Maybe they missed the mark. I don't, of course, know. I know they didn't do it intentional, but the thing is, the bigger picture is this. There's been this thing like if you're a comedian, you have a carte blanche. Have you noticed? You should be protected from anything to say anything. Just because you're a comedian doesn't give you the right
I don't agree with
to
that at
hide.
all.
You don't think so?
No, I think comedians don't have the license that they used to. You just said it. We couldn't have a Richard Pryor right
canceled
now.
Immediately.
Canceled immediately.
Yes, cancel culture.
I think that comedians, like, you know who you're going to watch. Like, there was a comedian. Her nickname was the Queen of Mean, Lisa Lampanelli.
I remember. Yeah.
But you know, if you're going to Lisa, especially if you're going to be in the audience of Lisa Lampanelli's show, like, everyone is fair game.
You know what you're in for.
Say some crazy thing, some batshit
She has
crazy
said some
things.
crazy shit.
Dice Clay.
Yes, she is going to go for it. And I'm okay with it when you know who you're getting into. I think certain comedians should have a license in terms of comedy. But here's the thing. It's all about intent. And you kind of said this before. If your intent is to humiliate or embarrass or put someone down, that it's not going to read well. If your intent is to be funny, it can read well. And some people are thin-skinned. For example, I love Dave Chappelle. And I went to go see Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl right after the whole transgender scandal. He was talking about the transgender people. And I knew he was going to go in on that. And they confiscated our phones, everything. And I was like, he's going in. But Dave Chappelle goes in on everybody.
Yeah.
And when that scandal broke out, and some people are going to have a differing opinion. If you had listened to Dave Chappelle talk about his transgender friend, I forget her name. I forget the name of his transgender friend, but it was actually a heartfelt message behind that.
100%.
She died, and you could tell that he's still affected by that. This man goes after everyone. When I saw him at the Hollywood Bowl, he was going after Asians. He's married to an Asian, has half Asian kids. So I do think there is some license that they should have, but I think that it's about intent. If you are trying to be funny, and there is...
Yeah, but that's just the problem. This is bad intent. You're making fun of her teeth. There's no good intent in that.
If you're trying to humiliate
her, though. They weren't trying to humiliate. They weren't trying to humiliate her.
No. I'm not saying they try that, but when you go after somebody's teeth like that, or dude, for you not to come off humiliating, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And with all due respect, that might be out of you guys' league at Saturday Night Live.
They do that with Madonna with her gap tooth back in the day. They did it with people that have big noses. They did it with people that have the features. They exaggerate the features.
Yeah, you're right. If you're going to do that, you better come with the caliber of Dave Chappelle. The Saturday Night Live crew is not the caliber to pull off those jokes, man.
I think that intent does.
With all due respect.
Sometimes people do have the intent to make fun of someone. They're not trying to be funny. They are making fun of someone.
So then you believe that comedy can go too far?
I think it can go too far, and I think that there is a line where it's not comedy anymore.
Right, by the way, but then when they go too far, they hide under, well, I'm a comedian, I should be able to do it.
I was or people, even in real life, people will say something insulting to you or someone else, and be like, but I was just kidding. And they're being sensitive. Like, no, you're a shithead. You're being an asshole.
There's this documentary, because I was doing this project for this guy. He works for...
Was that your topic, by the way? That's a good topic.
Yeah.
Love it.
He was doing this... doing the sales and distribution for some Vice content, and one of the titles was it had something to do with comedy, and then it was basically questioning what happened on 9/11, and when is it too soon to for people comedians go in and start trying to not make, you know what I'm saying?
Make light of a heavy situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that even ever appropriate?
I don't know.
And by the way,
because you have so many people that lost family. I don't know that that's ever.
People.
I don't know that
anybody's ever done a 9/11.
Real comedians don't even have to go. They're gonna bring up the greatest, obviously choose an American like Richard Pryor, right?
Well, yeah, but I feel like people want to hear about.
You have to go with someone that has that
correct and
clout to do it. Joan Rivers or Bernie Mac or someone, we're gonna let it slide because it's them, and they're also gonna.
But it's also the way they did it. Or George Carlin. I saw George Carlin was fucking dude. The guy, he always did that in an analogy, but he called it out on how it is that you couldn't even argue with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He was doing that whole prison thing. Well, and if you're method, up to Colorado, go. It was just funny. You know what I mean. And then Richard Pryor calling the black lady next to him, it was just funny because it was truly. Meant in a innocent, funny way.
Comedy is usually based on something that's true.
Correct. But now every comedy, when they overstep it, then they hide behind the "I'm a comedian" fact.
You're just a dick.
Or you're just a dick.
What's
Exactly.
that guy? Seinfeld, the tall one,
Oh,
Kramer.
Kramer.
Oh, Kramer, yeah.
Remember when he had that
Yeah,
episode
yeah,
of the
yeah,
comedy club
yeah,
and he tried to
yeah.
hide by him? Like,
Yeah.
no,
This
you
is
got
who you
you
really
got
are.
racist.
You got busted up.
Yeah.
I feel like
And he's still paying the price for it. Yeah.
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 I don't feel like the sketch was funny, but I don't think
Well, that tells you.
I don't think that was like a terrible thing for them to do. I don't think it was meant maliciously. with
You have to be
malicious
careful
intent.
then to
Listen,
but
yeah.
how you deliver. I think it is how you deliver it, how you land that is going to.
Well, you're back to you better be
It was
that caliber
literally-
of actor. Yeah.
It was literally like 10, 15 seconds of the whole damn thing. But
To me,
whatever.
man,
I
if
get
you're
it.
watching Saturday Night Live to begin with, you got issues. I mean, yeah. Sorry.
I watch for the musical guests. Anywho, Marco.
Yes.
You had wanted to discuss something here at the
Yes. So this is going to be a brutal one because, and you cannot get away with this. Yeah, no, you got to give an answer. You got to give an answer. And you two gentlemen decide who's going to go first, but you got to give an answer. You have to give an answer. So, two people are getting married. Just for argument's sake, let it be a man and a girl, doesn't matter. But, and the groom is your best friend.
Mhm.
Okay? And
This is definitively your best friend. We're established.
yeah, no, he's up there. He's truly like you know, he's a really good friend, best friend, like legit. You know what I mean? Like truly close. You could be even his best man, maybe you're not, but you're really like Thea and I known each other for 25 years, right?
Right.
That kind of shit. Like, and you like the girl, the wife, or the husband. In this case, it's husband and wife, and you know her. You've been at they've been together now for 5-6 years, and you have good vibes, and you don't know her too well. You don't maybe besties, but she's obviously like I know Peyton, right? I love Peyton. I know him like Theo, of course, but
Right.
I know enough of Peyton that I know I love Peyton, right? So, the day before the wedding, everybody's excited. The day before the wedding, you find out that she has cheated on him. Okay, like 7-8 months ago. It wasn't like yesterday. It was like 7 months ago. She, whatever happened. And it's the night before the wedding. You're all in the bar, hanging out, Four Seasons, whatever. Good vibes, right? She's over there with the girls. You're here with your bro. Do you tell him?
Ooh.
Do you
I can
fucking
answer
tell
it.
him?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
That's a fucking rough one, man, right?
No, okay.
Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's as clear cut. I can't wait to hear the answer.
Earlier, here's the thing: the truth.
We'll set you free.
No, the truth holds. I think the truth holds whether you say it or not. And I think that if you hold that kind of truth, you have to hold it with care. You can't just throw that around for shock value. And the truth, it doesn't need to. You don't need to scream it. And I think that it just, you have to find the right moment if and when you ever say it. So here's the thing. You have to use the right discernment, time and place. You're already at the wedding.
It's the night before.
It's the night before. I don't know that you necessarily say it at that moment, because here's the thing.
You gotta wait till they're married and have a child.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. First of all, how long has that got? There's other factors. How long have you known? Here's the thing. You come in between a couple, and they work it out. You are going to be the scapegoat, because you're going to be the walking trigger of a bad time in their marriage. You have to use discernment as to when you're going to say that. Also, another thing that I wanted to bring up is you have to make sure that you know that that's true.
No, it is true.
You have to make sure that you know that she actually cheated.
It is true. We're going from the assumption that it is true.
Let me go with this. We've talked about this before. In the LGBTQ community, gay men, it's pretty acceptable or common for there to be an open arrangement of sorts, or however that couple defines it. And I think that comes from being from a community where you're defined by your sexuality. So when we own it, we really own it, and we put it out there. I think our straight counterparts are catching up to that. There's a lot of couples that are wanting to be that a little bit more liberated. However, they're so far back in time. They're like gay men in like the 60s and 70s. So they're not, if they're wanting to be in the lifestyle or wanting to be somewhat open, they don't put it out there like that.
Yeah, but
So
you don't answer the question.
I am answering it. You don't know what their
This is very cut and dry. She cheated. He's your best friend.
He's your best friend.
Yeah, or he's up there. He's one of your best friends.
Okay.
She cheated. It's very cut and dry. I see where you're going with this, but what's the answer? You listen. And do you tell him? Do you ever tell him? Do you not tell him? Do you tell him once they're married?
I wouldn't tell them at the wedding. Personally, I have told.
What's the answer?
I would not tell them at the wedding, but I would tell him.
Oh, you would let him get married and then tell him? Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't know. Wow, that's
What do you
all
think?
right.
What do you think is going to happen? And
I'm not there yet.
Also, you don't know. Like, if he's not willing to look at that truth, that's going to backfire on you.
Well, but that's the dilemma.
He's going to backfire on you.
Would he want to know?
Huh?
Would he want to know? That's a fair question. Would you tell him?
Would he want to know? Is he going to accept it? Some people,
I can't wait to read those comments.
They may be aware of this. They may not be aware of what's happening. But if they don't want to look at it, you cannot force people to look at a truth.
No, but that's agree. But that's a different.
Now we're at the wedding. Now this had been a week before, where he doesn't have 1,000.
Well, that has an impact. Okay.
And $100,000 that he just threw down the drain. That's a whole other story.
Okay, wait a minute. So
wait, what's the answer? What are you going with?
I wouldn't tell him at the wedding.
But you would tell him eventually.
I would tell him
eventually. Like a few months into the marriage.
If he was that close.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, fuck.
See?
Because then he's gonna ask, how long did I know?
Yeah. That is my question to you. How long do we know?
Yeah.
You found out a few days ago. We'll go with. I think that's what the story was.
So why'd you wait until the night before to tell him?
Exactly. If I had found out a few.
But wait a second. Final answer, and we'll get to you. I just want to wrap up. So you're telling him after the wedding.
No, because I didn't know that he knew for days. I would have told him when I found out. I'm not going to wait till the night before. That's fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Because if
happy wedding.
Right,
I know.
Switch it to you. If I knew for a few days, and you and your partner are getting married tomorrow, and I come in and I tell you that. I come and tell you that, and you find out that I knew for days, and I let you get to that point. Aren't you going to be pissed?
I can see how that person will get away with that because we're like, look, man. I can't even believe it. I have a shock value. I had to absorb it for 2-3 days because I was wrestling with it. Should I tell you or not? But that's a different topic.
I'm going to answer the question now.
Don't wait till the night before my wedding.
So are you changing your answer?
Yes, I would have told. I wouldn't have told him the night before. I would have told him when I found out.
The moment you found out. Okay, yes. Okay, I can roll with that. I don't know what the right or wrong answer is. It's so amazing because so many different aspects.
Wedding has that throws a factor in.
We're on the same page because I would run tail that once I found out. Like immediately, I would tell him. Yes, so I'm not waiting for the wedding to happen. Like let's say the wedding is a week away from when I found out, then he's gonna find out a week before his wedding.
I had a friend that I did tell him about an infidelity, but this was after the wedding, and it took.
Oh wow!
I understand what you're saying. I literally went to the store, went to 7-Eleven, and got a 12-pack, and I sat there in my apartment and drank it because I didn't know if I wanted to do it because you're gonna wreck somebody's life.
Yeah.
Okay, shoot from the hip. Shoot from the hip here. It's the night before the wedding. You're at the bar. You find out that evening. It's confirmed. You have now confirmation she cheated and it's the evening off. Does your answer change?
I don't know that shooting from the hip.
Yeah. Listen, it's 10 p.m. They're about to go upstairs. You were going to meet them at 9 a.m., right? And you just got the text that confirms, yes, she did bang this guy.
I would tell. I mean, I would tell, yeah.
You would? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, before the wedding happens, yes, I would tell. And obviously that's...
I don't know that I would tell.
I would tell.
And by the way, you don't know that the wedding is going to be called off. He could be like in the movies. Hey,
you could probably be like, oh, I knew that already. You don't know.
It could be like Succession. Did that happen in Succession?
I don't know.
That's a tough one, huh?
Yeah. I going back to my own personal experience with that. Like I remember saying that to my best friend at the time, and my mom telling me, and other people telling me that I shouldn't have told.
Oh.
That you shouldn't have gotten.
I'd be so pissed if you knew and you didn't tell me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if
I'd be so pissed, dude.
When I reversed it, I was like, if I was him and I knew that I knew, I'd be fucking.
You would want to know.
It'd be the end of the friendship. It'd be the end of the friendship. Yeah. If you knew and you didn't tell me, we'd be done.
All right. So you're telling. I'm telling.
I'm fucking telling.
I'm telling.
I would hope that I would find out not. I think that's fucked up to find out. Don't tell me as one of the best friends the night before the wedding.
Well, no.
If you gonna come tell me that shit because you want me to run tell that, tell me that a week before.
I think the only thing I disagree with the 3 days, personally, I would have to think about it for a few days just to come to terms that I'm going to. That doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to do it.
Life.
I'm still going to tell him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to just, if it's 3 days and I know the wedding is coming up, I would need like 24 hours just to be like, wow, this is really going to happen. But I'm telling like Theo.
Yeah, I'm telling. I did tell. But on the wedding night,
that's a rough one.
We are all good and loyal friends.
Yes, we are.
We're telling everything. Don't do shit in front of us.
So, Theo, I have something to tell you.
that might not even be
This would have been turned down. Don't even.
Real quick though, don't you think that he might? And I guess it depends on the friendship. That he might think that there's an ulterior motive of you telling him on that night.
It depends on
It depends. Yeah.
But moving on.
Yeah.
Mr. Duane.
Yes.
Within the last couple of weeks, and actually it's been out in the news for months now. But you wanted to talk about something that has happened on one of our favorite reality shows.
Yes.
I guess the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Almost. Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh wow! I almost had it.
They're definitely not in their glory days.
No, not anymore. No.
But on the Real House of Atlanta, Kenya Moore, who has grown over. She's grown on me over the years. However, she always does something that her ego and her, like that wounded inner child in her does some shit that sets it back for me. And so basically to set it up, there's a newbie, Britt Edie, who clearly there's tension between the two of them. Clearly Britt is intimidated by Kenya, and I think if I was a woman, I'd be intimidated by Kenya too. Like she's a kind of a force to be reckoned with. Yeah,
that's true.
And I think Kenya may have some insecurities there because Britt's beautiful and she's younger. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there was an altercation. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Britt mentioned she's about to go get her pistol, or she had a pistol, which you don't
Atlanta.
Even take it.
Just another day in Atlanta.
But it's in Atlanta. You might take that a little bit more seriously than other places. Like she really might go get this pistol.
Atlanta.
Anyways, Kenya had like a opening of a salon or a launch of some sort within her salon for her hair care line, and had hired a PI to dig up dirt on Britt. And what she did was she dug up pornographic material on Britt.
Ooh, juicy.
Had it blown up on
Juicy.
on poster boards, and in the ribbon cutting session. I don't know if there was actual ribbon cutting, but like she doing a speech for the ceremony, decides to pivot over to Britt and out her about her past.
Wow.
And
in front of the cameras.
Yes.
What a hero move.
Yes. In front of the cameras, we knew that something had happened because she got suspended.
That's some 80s soap opera shit right here, dude. I love it.
But we just found out, I think it was just this week's episode or last week's episode, what actually went down. I have my thoughts on it, but Marko, I don't know if you have any questions on what I just said.
No, I think I get it. I get it. Yeah.
What do you think about... So basically Kenya was suspended, Britt was not, even though she kind of made a threatening comment about getting a pistol. What do you think about Kenya's actions, her retaliation, and or how Bravo decided to handle that situation?
Well, how did Bravo handle it?
They just suspended.
Oh, the suspended, yeah. Listen, I watched Housewives since early on because it's always in the background, right? Samantha watches it, you guys watch it. So I'm very exposed to the culture of what these shows are about. I always found it, and of course I'm a total bastard child here, I find it hugely entertaining. Mm-hmm. But what these women do, the whole justification for the show itself, the whole existence and the nurturing of it, nothing about it ever struck me as anything healthy. I find what these women do, how to do it, the glorification of the existence itself, the show itself, Bravo, the whole. To me, it is so incredibly fucking unhealthy, and that's why we love it, and that's why it's successful. It's a Big Mac.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Big Mac. Big Mac
That's a good-
is the greatest burger on earth, but it will fucking kill you. And when you come to a point,
Sponsor us, McDonald's.
yes,
I will actually eat a Big Mac.
listen, I would have one right now.
Yeah,
I
and
would.
I
You
do
wouldn't
not like
I would.
McDonald's, but I
would.
love you.
No,
I will love you.
yeah,
Sponsor me.
Listen, can we just say there's a time and place for a Big Mac? There is. Yeah. It's been years, but the other day I drove by. I was like, dude, I'm really
Or the
about
fries.
to give in.
Yeah.
No, their fries are incredible. No, there's a time and place for a Big Mac. And when you come to a point where you do something like that, it just, I think, proves that point of unhealthiness. And when you truly understand what these shows are and the fact that they're actually successful and exist, it everything about it. And I know I'm acquaintances with Adrienne Maloof, as you know, right? And she even told me, we were at the Polo Lounge once and we're having drinks, and I asked her because she told me about the marriage and the abuses and the challenges they had, et cetera, and I asked her about the show and why she left, and she was like, dude, funny enough, that's the word she used. If you want unhealth, what's that word? Unhealth? If you want
toxicity.
toxicity, yeah. But if you truly want to be unhealthy,
Yeah.
be on something like the Housewives. Now, of course, it also speaks to the culture of how unhealthy we are, indulging it and loving it, and this and that. But the move itself is obviously, listen, when you go to that low,
Yeah.
you have different issues than being on a show.
To your point,
You know what I mean?
If
I'm making sense,
I'm
yeah.
gonna ask you your opinion, but I agree with you. I think that there is obviously it's a little bit of trash TV, but I think the glory days of the Housewives, they didn't go that low. Their
Yeah,
pettiness
yeah,
was petty.
Agree, 100%
It was
agree.
petty, and
100%.
then also there was a lot of, we watched it to kind of escape. They had a lot of
100%.
fun too. That we got to see them
Yeah.
live this extravagant lifestyle. Now, like these new girls, they jump straight into.
I've seen a few episodes of
this
the
deep
Atlanta.
drama, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
trying to watch
yeah,
this.
no.
I want your take.
I feel like it's like you said in the beginning, in the glory days, it was fun to watch. These women, like, they're having fun, they're having a good time, like they're doing crazy shit, like it's laughable, and it like
They go to Mexico, have an argument.
Yeah, and it's like they're fighting over.
Argument of
They're
nothing.
fighting over.
They're
fighting over rooms.
How dare you
This
play this
room
better,
is-
bitch?
And that's what it is.
I wanted to sleep with you.
This is like I said. This is like turning of a leaf. Like, this is a whole new ball game now after she did this. And I like Kenya. I've always liked Kenya. I feel like with this season, now that these shows have been on the air for so long, these women who are now coming onto these shows, they're actually fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they've been watching the show and they're like,
And grown up with it.
And grown up with it.
How
And they're
can
like,
we outdo it?
I need to be. So they have this certain expectation of how they should behave or what they need to do in order to be invited back for another season.
Right.
And I think Britt came in with that mentality of like, okay, well, Kenya's Queen Bee, right? Let me see if I can get into something with her, because that'll guarantee that they'll bring me back, because we'll have a back and forth.
Interesting point you bring up.
People will be into
Very
it,
into it, yep.
and they'll bring me back. So this will secure me a second season.
Yeah.
And so she was coming in after her heart, saying that Kenya was picking at her, and we know when Kenya's picking at somebody. And
Yeah,
Kenya,
she doesn't pick.
she doesn't pick, right?
She
And
bulldozes.
She didn't do any of those things, and so I just feel like this girl was really making an effort to like try and stand out amongst the newbies, so she could be sure to be invited back. As far as the pistol situation goes, she said that like 2 or 3 times. I didn't take it seriously.
Me either.
I didn't take it seriously at all. I don't know that Kenya took it seriously. I mean,
She didn't take it seriously.
Like, you're really worried that this girl, has she said it on, it's been recorded that she's going to come and shoot you. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so her response to that, I feel, was, and like I said, I love Kenya, but I think that was like incredibly low. And a lot of things that I've seen since people talking about it have been like, oh, this salon is supposed to be for, the success of you and your daughter, and you trying to show your daughter how much of a boss you are and how much of this and that. And everybody was saying in blogs, like, why would you choose to do this at your opening event? Why not?
Right.
Why not let her invite you? Why not make up with her if you really want to get back at her?
Right.
Make up with her and be like, oh yeah, we're cool. Have her invite you to one of her events,
Classy
and
style,
then,
then
break it down,
break
like
it out,
show it out there, and like make it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think she should do it at all. Like, I think
No, I don't think that she should do it at all.
half a
Agreed.
century years old, like you have.
No, it's low.
At Britt's age, I think she's like, maybe she's at half her age.
Yeah.
Kenya ruined. Basically, she kind of ruined her brand. Like, you did that at
She did.
your.
She
did
did.
it
She did.
your own personal brand, because she herself is is a commodity. As is
Was,
anyone,
yeah.
as is anyone in the entertainment industry. Like, you are a product. She has actual products that she sells. She did that in her place of business. If you looked at the women's face as she was showing those pictures, even if there's people that like mess and they're like drama, but when it gets to a certain level, no one wants to be involved in that level. And you see, like, Portia and someone else of like, they get up, they're like, I want no parts
I don't
of this.
Not only that,
I don't watch Love and Hip Hop, but I feel like this was like some Love and Hip Hop.
you can go to jail for that shit too.
Well, that was my next
That's
point.
another thing.
She fucked up her coins. She got suspended from the season. Yeah. She probably took a hit in terms of her revenue with the salon. Yeah. And then if she was in the state of California,
you'll be fucked.
That's a revenge porn.
No, that's revenge porn.
You're revenge porn.
You're done.
You are going to jail.
You're done.
You're done.
And you know what? And I
don't know if you're going to be on a sex offender list for that. Is that a sex?
That's true.
They did their fuck you hard because, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Listen, man. When it comes to somebody's sex, or and I'm all about listen, man. There's a time to go hardcore on somebody, but that's not how you do it. No. Because first and foremost, it's not going to get you there. And you got to be.
Her goal was to embarrass her. Like, I mean, she said
humiliate and ruin her, exactly. And she ended up backfiring and ruining her.
You got to be smarter than that. Listen, there's dumb people, stupid people. Dumb people don't have intelligence. Stupid people have it. Don't use it. This was fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And for you not to see that and read the room, read the moment, read the occasion, good or bad.
Everything deserves a response.
And I'm listening.
You don't like this chick? Don't.
There's nobody. There's nobody that loves revenge more than me. I remember kids from second grade that made fun of me that I'm going to get someday. But
I had a list. I wrote names down.
Trust me, dude. I still get you. I remember the guy like it was yesterday, dude. Because shame you never forget when you feel it. It's the worst thing you can feel as a human being. But when it comes to that revenge porn, that's really when I draw the line.
Yeah.
If I had something and I hated you that much, I still wouldn't go the revenge porn thing because there's no win in it for me.
No. It's going to backfire. It diminishes you.
Yeah.
People are very,
and you're feeding a stereotype, which is even worse.
People are very divided about it, though, because a lot of the stuff that I was reading was saying, she deserved that. She, threatened her with the gun, and other people are now saying, that Kenya.
That's what the law's for, though.
Kenya's she's like, Kenya, what is the word I'm looking for that I can't think of right now, because... a little stoned. What was it?
Drunk, stoned, gay, straight.
The Kenya was vindicated. They're saying that she was. That's the word.
Oh,
They're saying that she was vindicated because they showed the episode of when Britt was saying, "I'm gonna get my gun." So now it's okay for her to do that. No, it's not okay for her to do what she did.
No,
she could have done something. She could have done something else. Kenya's smart. She could have done something.
She's half a century years old. She should have. If she needed to get her back, she needed to use her resources to get her back in a emotionally mature way. Because if you looked at
emotionally mature oxymoron with these,
but if you looked at those women's faces, not the castmates, although they were all appalled, but the other women that were in that building, no one, and they didn't necessarily want to see that.
Right.
And listen, I'll tell you something else. As somebody who owns and loves the sport of shooting, who finds it relaxing, and as a law-abiding citizen, let me tell you something, man. You got to be really fucking careful with this. I'm gonna go get a gun shit.
Yeah.
Because and I'm not talking about you doing it and everybody knows you don't mean it, then you're not doing it. When you put stuff like that on tape, when you say stuff like that. And just in general with the issues we have with guns and again, as somebody who loves guns but isn't confused about the issues that this nation has with guns, when you say shit like that, you got to be really fucking measuring twice and cutting once. When you say stuff like, I'm going to go get a gun, I'm going to go get a pistol or threat. Again, let me tell you something. I've been to Atlanta many times. I don't know how shit is there, but you did that shit here? And you go to revenge porn and you're threatening somebody with a gun. Dude, you better off jumping off a roof, girlfriend, because in L.A., in California, what they do to you, I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm telling you, you will not have a life left worth living.
Raise your hand if you went to Google and you Googled Britt Eddie blowjob. I did. I was like, well, let me see the pictures. If she got him out here, where
he should be on the sex offender list.
I wanted to see the pictures.
I did it because I was actually really pissed off at Kenya. Like I said,
I was upset, but I wanted to see.
I was just so
damage done.
That she did that because I feel like she has evolved so much from on the show, and I'm like, girl, you had You have too much to lose to be playing games like that. Like,
We'll see what happens. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
To
but
be suspended from a show on Bravo, dude, congratulations. That takes
Yeah.
a lot, dude. That's like Don
she's
Lemon
not
getting
suspended,
fired from
she's on a pause.
Oh,
okay?
right, yeah.
she is coming back next season.
She'll probably come back for sure. All right, guys, we're moving into our last segment. This little segment I like to call
Talking about Marco's greatness.
Talking About Marco's Greatness. It's going to take 10
The
seconds.
last of
It's going to take 10 seconds.
He's quick when he's stoned. I'll give it a...
I'm quick all the time, bitch. Anyway, this segment is called Rapid Fire Stereotypes.
Love that.
Okay.
Ooh, I love stereotyping people. Let's
So
do
this is what we're going to do.
Jesus Christ.
This is how it's going to work, you guys. This is the game for the two of you to play, okay?
Okay.
Wait, you're not playing?
Wait, how you gonna put us on the spot?
I'm going to comment.
Okay.
I'm going to comment.
This bitch fucking moderating.
Make us hit some
I'm gonna talk
politically
about it.
incorrect shit, and then we get in trouble.
Just
I
don't
see
get
what
us,
you're doing.
Just don't get us canceled. Okay? All right, so here's how this is going to work.
All right.
I'm going to throw out a stereotype. It's either going to be cultural, racial, sexual, regional, whatever.
I love it.
One of you has to choose to defend it.
Oh.
The other one has to debunk it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay? So I'm just going to give you the topic or the group
Okay.
that the stereotype is based on.
Who's doing what?
And one of you are going to defend it, one of you are going to debunk it. So I'm going to say this is what it is.
Oh, justified.
Whoever-
One is going to justify it,
Yes.
one is going to not
Yes.
unjustified.
So
Okay, got it.
I'm
got
going
it.
to tell you what it is. So if you feel, I'm going to tell you what the topic is, and then you can say, I'm going to choose to debunk it based on what the topic is, or I'm going to choose to defend this group of people or this
Okay.
original stereotype. Okay.
So agree with the stereotype or disagree with
What
the
if we
stereotype?
choose the same thing?
It's
we
only
can't.
one of you can't. One of you does one of you does the
Oh,
other.
okay,
So
okay,
You gotta
okay.
come
So
up
you got to
with
find, you
something.
got to play devil and angel. Okay,
So you
cool.
gotta-
Okay, I can do that.
You
I hate everyone.
Stir the pot, or like I said, just don't get us canceled.
Cool. We're under
Don't
Bravo
get yourself-
contract.
Don't get yourselves canceled. We don't
Andy
wanna be on-
Cohen, if you're
we don't wanna be
watching-
on pause. Okay.
Hang on, let me get my gun.
All right, so here we go. I got some revenge for you. Let me call Christina. All right. So here we go. So the first topic, and you can choose to debunk, to defend or debunk, is lesbians. Who's defending? Who's debunking?
I'll defend.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, so you're debunking.
You know what? You're straight, so maybe you should defend.
Yeah, I should defend. Yeah. If you take lesbians away, what purpose of
I'll
living I have?
You're gonna.
I'll debunk. You defend.
You defend.
You defend,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're defending this. You're debunking this.
I'm defending lesbian. Oh, do I have to make some comments?
No.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
tell you what
okay.
the stereotype is.
Oh, what the stereotype is.
You have to.
Oh.
You have to. You're debunking or you're defending.
I'm defending.
You're defending. You're debunking.
Oh,
Okay.
but no, I don't want the other one because if you say Rosie O'Donnell, I don't want to defend her.
This is the
All right,
topic.
fine, okay.
Lesbians are masculine or hate men.
I have to defend that?
You have to defend that.
Oh, fuck, because that's true. So,
Well, how? Defend it.
defend it. It's not true.
Nope.
Oh, this is a tough
Wait,
one.
I think which would you prefer to do? I'll take the other one.
I will justify it.
Okay, go for it.
I will justify it. Yes, because when I worked in the scene, I talked on that on the other show, and again, of course, with painting with a broad brush here. Generally, there's always a very masculine figure there that even dresses very masculine. We had when I worked at the Hair Lounge, it was called Truck Stop Ladies Night. Truck Stop Ladies. Think about it, the title. And no joke, one chick will come in. I guess it used to be called Butch.
It's still Butch.
Still Butch. And she'd be like in the fucking wife beater, dude, and jeans and like fucking angry. And the other one will be like, no, she was hating men, like hating men angry, right? And I like, no joke, hating men. Like, and the other girl
personal
was,
story, so this is
and,
good.
yeah, real stuff. I'm giving you real life. And I'll be there making the drinks, and the other girl was like Cindy Crawford, fucking beautiful, not even hot, more than hot, beautiful, like gorgeous, like just so feminine and angelic and goddess-like. And she'd be nice to me. She's like, "Hi, can I have?" And the other chick was there, like making sure I don't fucking look at her the wrong way. You just make sure you give her a drink and nothing else. Don't look at her, okay? I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't want to get killed. And so it totally fits that stereotype. 100% true and accurate, generally speaking.
But one of them was not. So how can you say it's 100% true and accurate when one of them was Butch and one of them was not?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. The stereotype is true.
The stereotype is true.
Yes.
But it's not. But go ahead, Duane.
Okay, I'm going to debunk.
Unless I missed the point.
There are. I think this.
This is great. I love this.
I think when you're talking about stereotypes, even when we talk about gay men, like if you talk about straight people, like they have a stereotype of how gay men are, but that's just what's visible to them. Most gay men are not very effeminate in my experience. With lesbians, I think if your eye is trained to look for that butch masculine archetype, that's what you're going to find because they're going to pop out at you. I think a lot of women who are lesbians are actually very feminine. There's
half of them.
There's a term lipstick lesbians, and there's not a butch one in the pairing. They're attracted to femininity, and I've seen two butch lesbians be together. There's not
Really? Me?
yes,
No.
I've definitely seen.
So you were defending. Who was defending? Because I'm confused right now. Who was defending?
Yeah, I'm confused, but it's a great topic.
No. Who was defending? Was it you?
I'm saying that there's lipstick lesbians that they're not all masculine.
No, I'm not defending.
So you're debunking. You were supposed to be defending, but you ended up actually debunked it.
Debunking it.
You
Okay.
debunked.
I guess I'm confused what the word debunking means.
So basically, lesbians. That's not a real stereotype because you're saying the girlfriend was beautiful and
And the other one, no, was always,
and you just gave your example as well.
Got it. Okay,
I
good
just gave
stuff.
the example that they're not all.
I mean, lipstick lesbians
Yeah.
for sure.
I love it.
And a lot of them are only attracted to another lipstick lesbian.
Yeah.
So
And I noticed also with the way they dress, you have like one that dresses more like a man and more like
not
a
a
woman.
lipstick lesbian.
There was something.
Oh,
that
no,
you
lipstick.
said-
Yeah, I was saying classic like.
There was something just quick.
Yeah.
There was something you said a few episodes ago, and
Uh-huh.
we were talking about. You're talking about couples and how there's like maybe one person is more Marko and the other one is less. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And I wish in the moment when I was watching the episode back, I was like, wait a minute, he's wrong with what he said. And I wish I had said something about that in that moment.
Hey,
you were saying
me.
how like one guy.
Think about this shit for weeks.
There's the revenge.
We're talking about
Get your
lesbians, and it made me my pow pow, and it made me think about it. And I'm just saying how you were saying like with gay couples, one is more one's a guy is one's like feminine, one's not. And I'm like, well, that's not the case in my relationship. So
No,
it just
clearly not
So
in
it just
your-
made me think about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all. That's
yeah.
all.
No,
Okay.
you're absolutely right. But again, I was painting with a very broad
Yes.
brush. You know, there's the.
But I don't think that's.
And I think if I remember, also more referring to like the body type. You know, I noticed like I have a lot of friends that are like you, like real masculine, like strong, good looking, and then their boyfriend is kind of tiny, almost like a female body.
He probably has a big penis.
Yeah, well, that could be the case. Yeah, no, it could be the case. I have as a matter of fact.
happens a lot.
No, but you know, what I'm talking about? No. If you look at like, I'm not going to say name, but very good friends of ours, and not that they did with mine, but he looks like a doctor. Like very classic, and then his husband is like this tiny little Asian guy, like clear. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
Or like that.
you and Peyton are the exception. I mean, you're
Remember
both like
that
if
guy
I.
that we were. This is a while ago. It seems like Poppy's Coxic or something like that, and he was kind of similar to Austin Wolf, like in terms of he's a porn
Oh
star.
yeah.
And,
That
like
little boy,
the guy,
yeah.
like his partners are always these like
Yeah.
super. They might be 30 years old, but
Yeah.
they look very
They look like
young,
they're like
and it's
13.
Right? Yeah.
uncomfortable to your
That's
men.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
oh,
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so let's get back on track. There's two more I want to do.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the topic is gay men.
Okay.
Who's gonna defend? Who's gonna
I'll defend.
You're gonna defend.
And I'm gonna stereotype it. Okay.
gonna defend.
That's gonna be tough.
All gay men love Beyonce.
defend that they all love Beyonce. I don't. Well, I don't think they do all love Beyonce.
You gotta defend it.
That I can't defend that. That's not true.
You gotta get creative. Get creative. Pull out that.
I
monologue.
think that all gay men.
That's a tough one, man.
I think all gay men. I won't say love, but I think we tend to have an appreciation for mega pop stars.
Now you're being
and
way
sh-
too kind.
and
Defend it.
And strong women. I can't defend something that's clearly not true, but I will say that we tend to have an appreciation for like strong women and these iconic. Gay men are selective when it comes to women. We don't just have a whole lot of
very
women
true. Yeah.
around us. So when we have those women that I feel like matches our level of creativity and aesthetic.
Or the level that we would like to attain.
The level that we would like to attain, or just being able to keep up with us in terms of like even just conversation and things like that, because not every woman does well in a gay environment. They can annoy us. Then I think Beyonce embodies that, and the fact that her last album was dedicated, well, not Cowboy Cotter, the Renaissance tour was dedicated to her gay uncle and that whole album was a love letter to the Black queer experience, especially the ballroom experience. We can appreciate that.
Okay.
So I have to disagree, right?
You have to. Yes.
Yeah, I have to disagree. I disagree because I know many gay people
I love her, by the way.
that can't stand her. I think to me she's one of the most overrated artists in the history of artists.
That's some bullshit.
No, it is. Because I remember her back at Berkeley '97. She can barely sing. There's so much production, so much training. And even after all those years, she's, to me, absolutely average of a singer. She's an amazing entertainer. If you have those kind of resources like J-Lo, anytime you need 60 backup dancers, 900 producers, that kind of budget, she's an amazing product. I hope that woman makes $10 billion a day. I have nothing but respect for her, and I hope she makes $100 trillion, becomes the president. You go, girl.
Well,
but that's not going to change the fact that she's an absolute average painter.
On September 4th of 2023, I went and saw her at her birthday at the SoFi Stadium, where I got to hear her sing. You heard her voice. Her voice is beautiful.
Her voice is beautiful.
And she has had those. Maybe she got some resources since then. Beyonce could do riffs.
Well,
there's a lot of money put into her to sound good nowadays. Again, a lot of production, a lot of resources, and again, that's all good. That's what pop is. It's pop. It's bubblegum. I'm all. I love. Hey, I hope she makes $100 million.
Okay.
That's not going to change the fact that if I want a real singer, I'm going to go listen to Aretha Franklin.
But we don't all love her.
And sorry, if there's Aretha Franklin, I'm just going to leave it at that.
No, there's no greater. That's the greatest. The greatest female voice. I think the Rolling Stones said that she was the greatest.
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
If I want a singer, I'm going to go listen to Montserrat Caballé or Aretha Franklin.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that
great entertainer, or Beyonce. Great entertainer.
I like Beyonce, so that's 2.
Did I do a good job?
You love. I mean, it's at a different level for you than it is for me.
Yes, but I love her. I don't know that why I love her is necessarily the same experience that other gay men have, because it's not necessarily it's like she's not my Britney Spears. I love her because of her artistry, that she doesn't say anything. I love the fact that she took the field during the middle of a Super Bowl dress as Black Panthers, and that if you watch her, she uses her artistry to affect change, and she's Black excellence.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Taking $1 million to go to Saudi Arabia, which will kill you for being gay, to play on a birthday, you can argue that. I'm going to play devil's advocate. She took $1.5 million to do a private kid's birthday.
Would you?
Absolutely, I would. And also, but I'm not responding to that. I'm not responding to change.
Okay, we're moving on. Because
I don't know what that
like Obama calling the Sultan a good friend.
We got to shut this down. This is the last one.
A devil angel.
Defend or debunk. And the topic is white people.
Oh, I can go either or with that. Pick one. Whichever one you want to do, I'll do the other.
That's fucked up. That's
just the topic.
This is rough, man.
Yeah.
He came up with something good here.
Could be alcohol.
We were just about to fire you from the show, and now you have some production.
You're white. I'll let you pick.
You gonna defend them? You want to defend your people?
No, I want to go the opposite. Okay. I'm gonna stereotype him.
I'll defend them.
So you're going to defend this.
Okay.
Duane, I need you to defend that white people don't have rhythm or seasoning in their food.
I need to defend that they don't have it?
So that's not true. You're saying that's not true.
That they don't have rhythm.
So I'm saying that's not true. Mm-hmm. That's not true. Because, there's clear evidence of that. We have Britney Spears. We have, Pink. We have Justin Timberlake, Robin Thicke. I think it just depends on their background and where they came from. If they come from, Louisiana, they know how to season. And you don't know, I think that what I've noticed, especially when it comes to maybe this is a bad way of saying this, the mixing of races, I think Black people tend to be more accepting of white people, especially if they come from their culture. Mm-hmm. They just assimilate. They just assimilate very well into it. We don't see them as white anymore. We might get a white nickname, but because we nickname everything, but we will see them as a part of us, and it's harder to do it in the other direction.
That's very true.
But I think that there's plenty of instances, especially, if you were to think about our parents' generation and then our generation and then this new generation they're much more they're much more integrated, I think, and when it comes to various cultures, they're much more exposed to it, and they've grown up with rhythmic music. Because I think sometimes some people don't have rhythm because they're not listening to rhythmic music like we are since we're a baby, so that it's kind of in our body our entire time. And I'll see people out and you see people of all ages that can dance, not just to, hip hop, but I didn't grow up with Latin music, but I have rhythm and I will dance to it. And as long as you grow up with that type of rhythm, or you're introduced to seasoning and to other cultures, seasoning
Not just
to other
pepper.
cultures, you're going to adopt those. Excuse me.
I completely agree. I think.
You gotta debunk them.
Yeah, to debunk it.
Oh, I gotta disagree.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta disagree.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta disagree. Yeah, that they don't have rhythm.
You have to agree. You had to disagree.
Yeah.
This is a tough.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
agreed.
the way you set it up
Yeah,
is...
he agreed. He agreed that they have rhythm.
You agree that they do have, and they do have seasons. So
Correct.
you have to
Yeah.
disagree.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
totally
say that they
disagree, yeah.
don't have- you have to say that they don't have it.
They don't. Fucking Justin Timberlake is about as fucking sterile and synthetic as can be. It's absolute fucking pathetic. Sterile
don't think he has
bubblegum.
rhythm, though?
Zero. He has a great. He can fake it. He can study the moves. He will never feel it like where rhythm
You just
comes
won't
from.
feel the rhythm.
No, there's no rhythm. A white person can play perfect blues. They can play every note and make you freaking cry, and still they'll never feel what a black person will feel, because the origin of the blues, having lived it, being in those cotton fields, being experienced slavery, the family of a slave, or the segregation, that culture, growing up like that, having a target. I don't give a fuck how white you are and how great you play those blues scales. You will never, ever feel it like B.B. King. It's not going to happen. You can play it, the song perfect. You feel it. Just like Michael Jackson.
Have rhythm, though. There may not be...
Well, no, that's the thing. They have it,
Yeah.
but they don't.
Okay.
You know, and
I see
Justin
what you're
Timberlake,
saying.
Justin Timberlake is nothing more than a Michael Jackson copy. Justin Timberlake singing in that head voice, I cringe every time I hear it. The production's great. Again, the entertainment is fantastic, and people buying it. It's bubblegum. Michael Jackson got beaten. Michael Jackson grew up black.
So did
he had a lot of...
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're probably right. I just didn't hear what you said. And Michael Jackson, when he makes those moves, it's real. It's from a place of origin. It's from a place of sincerity. It's from a place of hurt. From a place of
fear.
And a place of fear.
No.
No. It is. It is from a place of fucking fear. Justin Timberlake has the privilege to copy it and make it perfect. He can listen. Justin Timberlake can dance as perfect as Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson has rhythm.
He cannot
Justin
dance.
Timberlake
No. Don't play Michael Jackson.
Yeah. No, I'm just
Wait
saying.
a minute.
Wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
I'm making sense. I know I'm making sense.
Yes, you're making sense, but I want to wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, I want to hear about the seasoning on the food. That's what I
seasoning on the
wanna hear
food.
about.
You know, that's tough, because the best chefs in the world are obviously French, Italian, this and that, but the best chef in the world are also black. So do they not have seasoning in the food? That I cannot agree
Can
with.
I say one thing?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I went to a Chinese restaurant and it was all Latinos making.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
And I
Don't wanna eat
almost
there.
walked out, but I didn't want to be obvious.
Yeah.
The food was good. They were using the right message, but it
And
just
you can
didn't have
follow
that
a recipe.
But it didn't have that same. And maybe it was a mental thing for me.
No,
because
that's okay
I knew
that it is.
Maybe it was a mental thing, but I was just like, it's just not hitting
If I
like
go-
they bake it. It's just not.
If I go to a sushi restaurant and it's Mexicans making
I'm like,
sushi, I'm not in a sushi restaurant. You understand? No.
Damn. All right. Well,
Great episode.
Well,
great
that was
bit.
rapid fire stereotypes. I think I need to refine that a little bit. But it's interesting it's interesting. What's interesting about all of these three things is that everybody was
great.
like, no, this is not true.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right? And these
Yeah.
are stereotypes. Obviously, the stereotypes come from some kernel of truth, supposedly,
Yeah.
right?
Some kernel.
Yes,
You
of
could-
course.
yeah.
So, but it's just interesting. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us for this episode.
Yes.
We had so much fun with it. And please be sure to like, share, subscribe. Please go down to the comments and leave us a message. Tell us what you like, what you want to see more of, what you didn't like. I know you don't want to see any more of Marko, but he's already here. So
Stuck.
we just got to deal with him. He knows how to do sound stuff.
I'm here to make a DEI.
He is our DEI, yes.
I'm here to make this show
This is the
PC.
first and last time you're ever going to be able to say that.
I know, exactly right. I'm in the minority, motherfuckers.
Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye,
Peace
guys.
out.